the media for the fighters today, and today we are with
Jimmy Wilson.
Jimmy Wilson. What's your fight name, Jimmy?
Jimmy the Tank Wilson.
Jimmy the Tank Wilson. And how old are you?
So I'm 34.
You're 34 years of age, and your coach and the gym that you train from, Jimmy?
Yeah, so I try to get to as many gyms as I can, but I'm fighting out at the Lions Den at the moment. Mark's the one that is obviously coaching me at the moment.
Yeah, he's a really good coach.
Really good coach, yeah. It's good to get down there. He helps me out with a lot of stuff. So.
And who are you going to be fighting on the WBKB for?
I forgot his name. I'm not going to lie to you. Nathan, that's the one. Nathan. Yeah.
And what's his surname?
Beatsmoor.
Beatsmoor. Okay. And what do you think of Nathan?
I don't know much about him, to tell the truth. I actually don't know anything about him. We've added each other on Instagram. I've seen a little bit of his. Obviously, not pad work, like boxing and stuff like that, his movement. He looks like he can box, he looks like he's got good footwork and stuff like that.
So you've had a little look at...
Yeah, just obviously I always look at my opponents and stuff, yeah. I've spoke to a few people that have trained with him, or obviously done a bit of sparring with him and all that kind of stuff, but that was like a few years ago when people sparred with him. But the way I look at I've had a look at what he's done, but I'm just going to concentrate on myself and just carry on. We've all got different styles, and then I'll have a couple of styles in mind on the night, and then we'll see what happens.
Okay, so what is your prediction for the fight? How do you win the fight, Jimmy?
I'm knocking him out, there's no doubt about it.
You're going to knock out, you're going fight, and you've just actually
come off
a knockout, haven't you? Yeah. This will be your second knockout in the last 2 fights?
So I've had a knockout in 10-ounce glove boxing, that lasted 30 seconds, and then a minute 40 in the one yesterday that I had.
Wow.
And that was in bare knuckle, and then obviously this one.
And this one now you're hoping to finish it with a knockout,
100%.
Yeah? Do you have any special ways to prepare for the fight? Do you have any little rituals or things?
Nah, not really trained.
No?
I like. I mean, music's a big thing for me.
Okay.
Depending on what kind of mood I'm in and stuff like that, depending on what kind of music and that. Obviously, some people have their set music.
Yes.
I think I have like about 4 or 5 different playlists. Well,
that you go from, depending on the mood that you're in.
Yeah.
Okay. Fight record. What is your fight record?
Boxing record. I'm on. Was it 4 losses, 5 wins? 5 losses, 4 wins. And then bare knuckle, I'm on 2 losses, 1 win.
2 losses and 1 win. Okay, and what got you into fighting?
I've been fighting all my life, to tell the truth. When I was younger and stuff, I used to obviously fight out in the street. That's obviously nothing to be proud of, but that's what I used to do.
So it's something that just kind of comes naturally to you?
It's, to tell the truth, it helps me out. It's my therapy. I know that sounds thing, like a lot of people have different stuff, like counselling and all that kind of stuff. People talk to people. My therapy is getting in the ring. Win or lose, I'll still walk out and I go, I feel
it's
good.
A release.
Yeah,
you get a release from what you're doing.
Yeah.
Wow, right. So why bare knuckle then? What made you change?
So it's something I've always wanted to try. So I've tried boxing. Well, I say tried boxing. I've done boxing for a bit and all that kind of stuff and that. I've tried a bit of MMA when I was younger. Nothing like getting into fights, just doing a bit of training and stuff. And then I watched bare knuckle. And to tell the truth, looking at a few people from my hometown that got into it, all that kind of stuff and that. And then I was like, and then WBKB came up. The first show it was. And I can't remember who took. Someone contacted me about it, and I went, you know what? I'll ask about, see if I can get on it. So then I did obviously talk with them and stuff like that. I got on the first show. I didn't really train. I admit that. I've already told them that I didn't train.
You didn't take it as serious?
It was 3 weeks notice. I was a dropout. I took it with a guy called Phil Flavor. He's fighting Matt Sutton on the next show. Obviously, I got in the ring with him. We went 3 rounds. Or he stopped me in the 3rd round. He did, but it was like one of those things where I got in, I was like, it's going to be like a street fight this, and he hit me and I was like, like a street fight. Well, a street fight, you're like, yeah, just get on with it, you go for it, don't you? While here, someone hits you and you're like, well, hang on, this actually hurts.
So you felt his punch.
But bare knuckles more style for me. I'm not a boxer. It's not I hate boxing, I love watching boxing and stuff like that, but I am not a boxer. My skill is not there for boxing. While bare knuckle boxing, I can do the grappling, I can stick it on them, all that kind of stuff.
So there's a bit more tools that you've got to your advantage with the
because I'm a height, because I'm small, because I'm a small fighter. Obviously, I've lost a lot of weight lately. First WBKB show was 80 kilograms.
Okay, what do you fight at as 80?
Not now.
Not now. What do you fight at now?
I now fight at 70 kilograms.
70 kilograms. Well done. Wow, that's a lot.
So I dropped a lot of weight for it.
And how many times have you fought for the WBKB?
Two. One was against Richard, his name was. I fought him. It didn't go as well as I thought it would go. I was too cocky, I'm not going to lie to you. I did train for that, I really did train for that. I felt fit, stuff like that. I looked at Richard's last fight and stuff like that, and he was so unfit, he wasn't very good.
So you kind
and
of
I sat there and
judged
went,
him
well, I've
from
got
that.
this. I was like, got this, got in, and he hit me with the biggest shot I've ever been hit with, and he hit the floor, and I was like, well, that was not what I was expecting.
Okay, so you kind of you didn't take him as seriously,
But
maybe as what you should
so the
have.
so the first show it was like, I was getting, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's going to be a scrap, definitely wasn't. Second show, it was, I felt fit, I trained for it, but I underestimated my opponent.
Okay.
I've since 10 to tell you, you learn from your mistakes at the end of the day. I never underestimate any of my opponents.
So now you've went from that.
100%.
You're coming into this completely different
Yeah.
in your mind. Your
Mindset.
prepared yourself.
I've gone from being a journeyman, that's what it started off with. I just went, yeah, let's get a bit of money. It doesn't matter if you win or lose and that.
Okay.
To fall in love with the sport, to actually want to go somewhere with the sport.
Yeah.
It's all to do with not just building a future for me, but building a
for
future
your
for my family.
Okay.
And that's the main one. Like, I want to show my kids that anything's possible. Just because I'm a small guy doesn't mean I can't take anyone on. And that's the way I look at it.
100%. Why, sorry, not what
No, go on.
What's your biggest motivation?
My
for
kids,
fighting?
honestly, my kids and my wife, yeah.
Okay.
So like pushing on for them. Like everyone's got different motivations and stuff like that. I do it for my kids and my wife. I just want to, and I know see people say it's not about the money. It is 100%. It's about the money, but you've got to enjoy doing what you want to do.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm in the military. I do my job there. I enjoy my job. Sometimes I don't. I prefer fighting. If I could fight full time and make a lot of money doing it, I'd do it full time 100%.
It's only because, like you said, you have to put food on the table, so you have to have
Just got to
another
take a job, don't you?
Is there anybody that you would like to call out today?
Oh.
If so, look right down that camera and give them a call out. Tell them.
I don't know. I've looked at a few people, but to tell the truth, and you know him very, very well, and I've got lots and lots of respect for him. But Flash,
Flash.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So,
I honestly think me and Flash would be a really good fight. He was meant to fight yesterday for a title, and I said if he won it, I wanted that title shot with him and stuff like that. But yeah, I'd love to fight Flash and tell the truth. I think it'd be a good fight, and I'd like to do it bare knuckle as well, because I think it'd be a good fight between me and Flash.
perfect. So there you are, Flash. Get in touch. Who's your favourite fighter, bare knuckle or boxing?
Boxing, I've started moving away from that because it's all YouTubing, all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff, do you know what I mean?
it's getting taken
But I
over
still
now.
watch it because I like to watch someone from YouTube get his head kicked in.
Yeah.
But bare knuckle wise, there's two. I've got two in mind, yeah. Well, I said two, I've got a couple actually, but main one is obviously Danny Christie. Danny Christie's from my hometown. I've had a good speak to him. Never been able to get down and train with him. Obviously, we're both busy. At the end of the day, I understand he's got fights coming up, all that kind of stuff and that. And then obviously getting down to the Lions Den and stuff. Paul Venice and was it Pig Jardine as well?
Yeah.
Like they're the three that I like watching. Always watching stuff like that. Like I said, Danny Christie definitely 100%. I watch him all the time. I followed every fight since he's joined.
Did he give you a bit of inspiration when he got into bare knuckle? Was that what kind of inspired?
Yes, so we both. He's gone down certain routes. Obviously, we've all had problems in our lives. We've all gone down that route. I've fortunately not gone down the route some people have gone down. Obviously, before I joined the military, before I decided to do the fighting and stuff like that, I was going down the route where it was prison. That's where it was going to go. I never went to prison. Lucky enough, I was close to. And then having the kids and stuff, it's like I need to pull my finger out and stuff like that. So looking at people like that, like Danny Christie, it shows that anything can be possible.
Yeah.
Like I say, I've not gone down that route where obviously I don't really want to go down his personal stuff. Obviously, that's his personal stuff to talk about. But everyone knows about his past.
Yeah.
I've not gone down that route, but if he can go down a worse route than I've ever gone down
and come back,
I'm certainly sure anyone else can do that.
Yeah, no, 100%. Which leads me to my next question: if you weren't fighting or you weren't a fighter, what else would you like to do? What else would be your job?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I know a lot of people are going to say that in interviews and stuff like that, but I can't think of anything else. I just want to get in the ring and fight. If I could fight every weekend, I would. I know I can't, because obviously you've got to prep for the fight, all that kind of stuff, and that's what I was doing, you know what I mean? Every weekend, let's go for a fight, I've lost, right, next one, I've lost, and that's what I kept doing.
You just
and all
enjoy
that.
the whole aspect of fighting.
I like this build-up. I love this build-up now, do you know what I mean? And like I say, I'll never back out from a fight. If people want to call me out, we'll see what we can do, we'll see what show we can get on and stuff like that. If we can organise what weight we can get on, then we'll get that way.
Right, perfect. Where do you see yourself going in the bare knuckle sport?
So at the moment, my route, there's two routes I'd like to go down. Obviously, BKFC is everyone's big route. Everyone wants to get down that route. And the other one is BYB.
Okay.
The BYB, I've got contacts, if that makes sense. I'm getting down that route, a couple more wins. I should be on them shows and stuff like that. My mate Spider, everyone knows who Spider is. Like I say, he's definitely a big person that's pushed me in the right direction. I've gone from not having the right people in to just going fighting here, there and everywhere to having the right people in.
You've now got a team kind of around you.
Well, I've got a lot of people just going, like, I've spoke to a lot of people, like I say, I've spoke to you, I've spoke to everyone in WBKB. Look, I was meant to take a fight a couple of weeks ago, and I went, you know what, instead of just going, and normally I would just go, let's go for it, let's take that fight.
You thought, no.
But you know what, I'll have a chat with a couple of people, and I took I took everyone's advice and stuff like that. And it was like, and it's not, no disrespect to the people that I'm fighting at the moment, obviously the smaller fighters that I've had and stuff like that, there's no disrespect to them at all. But I need to take smaller fights before I start taking people that are big. I know it sounds thin. Yes, I'd love to get in the ring. I'm not saying I wouldn't, like, a big fighter comes over and the money's right and the belt's there and stuff like that. But they need to give me that time to train. I can't just go boom into it.
And last but least, anybody that you want to thank? Any sponsors or people that you want to thank?
So I'd like, obviously, I'm not sure my wife will see this, but I'd like to thank my wife. Obviously, she's had patience, so much patience. Me going away fighting, obviously training, all that kind of stuff, and that. Spider, yeah, again, absolute, honestly, one of the best lads I've ever met. And I met him through fighting, and it was literally met him through fighting. And I think I've only met Spider maybe once or twice in person, but I feel like I've known him forever. He's like a brother to me. Honestly, he's like a brother to me. But yeah, and then everyone at the Lions Den, honestly, everyone at the Lions Den, like, I've turned up there and there's times where I can't afford to train, and he's turned around and went, don't worry about that. He said, get yourself here and get yourself trained.
You find that in the fight community, don't you? Everybody's it's very much a family kind of community. You'd expect to come in, and because you'd expect it to be hostile with the environment and what it is that they do, but actually, fighters are usually the nicest people that you ever meet.
100%.
Could you look down into the camera and give a big shout out to iBox and WBKB?
Yeah. So thank you, iBox. Obviously you've helped me out with a lot of stuff, videos, editing, all that kind of stuff and that, getting me where I am now, to tell the truth. And then obviously WBKB, I'd love to keep fighting on their shows. And if it got to that point where obviously somehow I moved on to different shows or whatever like that, I'd still like to be involved. Even if it's a guest on the show or doing interviews, all this kind of stuff and that. Because to tell the truth, WBKB's the one that's got me where I am now.
Thank you very much for your